Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and I am working on a 3x8 insert here for my Portland album. And as you can see, I have my photos and a piece of memorabilia here. This is just the stub from my boarding pass because we actually got a printed one. They changed our seats on us on our way out, so we had to get a new boarding pass, so I have this available. And my plan is to do a photo flip, and I want this in the back, this will be on the flip, this will be what you see. So it'll actually sit like this, and then I need a card for down here. Now, if you look at this lovely photo here, we had such a perfect day flying that morning that we could see both Mount Hood and Mount St. Helens, which on a clear day is great. A lot of days you can't. It's too cloudy or hazy or whatever. So we just got lucky that coming in to the airport, we could see both. I'm thinking about highlighting that. I have some dies from Ellie's studio, and they come in a set together, and you can see this one actually, I've used it so much, it has warped a little bit. If that happens to yours, don't panic. It still works great. It's just that it's fairly thin. Once you use it though, and it goes through the plates, it settles down just fine, and it has zero problem cutting. So if that happens to yours, don't panic, it'll be fine. But I'm thinking about using this to make the flip, which I normally do anyway. And then it also comes with this one, and I'm thinking about doing something like this. Picking a paper that's patterned on the front and maybe white on the other side so that I can do this, but having some kind of pattern here and then the cutout so that I can just feature the mountains there. The only problem is this is pretty close to the edge, so I'd have to really make sure that I don't cut off too much because I'd like to be able to really see that. But I like the idea of it. So I'm going to rummage through paper, see what I can find, if maybe I can make that work somehow. But then I will also need a background for this. Maybe they'll end up matching. I don't know. So I need all of those things, plus I need a card down here. So it's kind of a lot at the start, but I'll figure it out. So I figured that I probably had better pick out the card before I try to do paper for up here, because I have to make sure that it's all going to match. And when I was looking through my cards that are related to flying or up in the air or something like that, I think I want to go with this one. I love that the blue is pretty darn close there, and I love that it's just looking out the window and seeing the wing. I was actually on the aisle. My friend was on the window side. So it was pretty easy though to get a picture because we can both just sort of lean over, so it worked out. We weren't over the wing really, so we didn't get that picture, but it still shows flying, which I like. So I think I do want to use that. So they'll look like this together, and so then whatever I pick, if I do the overlay, has to match. Well, the only other things I have here are basically like red and gray. And I would be tempted to go with gray if I had to pick, because this is just black and white, it's fine. We have a lot of color happening here. Like what we're wearing totally does not match. So I'm thinking gray because I wouldn't want to go red and try to make that work with this photo. I went into my gray scraps here. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to cut into a new piece of paper, that I could find something I had already that would work. But nothing in here is appropriate, I don't think. It's got too much pattern, too much weird stuff happening, or it isn't the right color of gray, so that's not going to work. I went into my 6x8 papers to see if I had anything there, and this is really the only thing I found that I thought might be usable. It's got a slight pattern, but it's not super busy. It's close to the gray that's in here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and just try it and see what happens. Hopefully it will work. One never knows, but I'm willing to give it a try. Now, the only problem is this is extremely tight here. It will go end to end. That's a little tighter than I would like it. Normally when I use this, I use a full, 12-inch piece of paper, but I'm willing to try it. The only thing that might happen is I've noticed like certain page protectors, when I do this and try to use a 6x8 sheet, when you put it in there, once it's folded, it doesn't actually like fill the whole pocket. Because it's going over the edge, it raises a little bit, so it leaves kind of a little blank space at the bottom. I'm not sure if that will irritate me or not. So I'm just going to do it, see what happens, and I'll assess once I get it all put together. All right, so I have this piece ready to go, and I've got my die out here. And one of the things I do when I'm getting ready to run this through my die cut machine is I just use washi to hold down the die to make sure it doesn't slip around and that it's going to cut exactly where I want it to cut. So I have that in mind. And then this is what's on the other side of that paper. Obviously, I don't want that to show. If any bit of it did show, what I generally do is I tend to put just like a white strip there sometimes. But I think these are well sized. I believe I had all of these professionally printed. It looks like it, yep. Sometimes when I print at home, I've noticed it's not quite true to the size. And I use the Canon Glossy 2 paper at home, so I'm not sure why that is or how that happens. But these were all professionally printed, so it should go end to end, I'm hoping, or pretty darn close enough where I don't have to do any doctoring of this. But I just wanted to show you that that's how I run them through my die machine. And I actually still use the old Cuttlebug. It works fine, and so I don't want to get rid of it. I've just adjusted my plates accordingly because the plates are discontinued. So now I have some other options, but I can still use the die cutting machine that I have. All right, I've done my die cutting, so here's my little square that's left, and I will actually save that. I might use it for something, you never know. And then here is my flip that I cut. So let's see now. If I don't alter the photo at all on the back, how does that look? Ooh, that looks pretty good. Let's try it with this and see what I think. I like it. I wasn't sure. For some reason when I was doing it, it felt really, really dark. I think it looks nice with this. I think I'm going to keep it. All right, so I have this attached and I'm happy with the way that looks with this on the inside. So now I just need to figure out what kind of background I want for this. And originally I was thinking, oh, black and white. Well, I can't do that because then that's black and white on black and white. I'm thinking maybe I should go blue just because, you know, there's such a bright blue here and here. She does have a blue mask on, so maybe I could do that and just pick like a regular cardstock, no pattern. And I could still embellish it a little bit if I wanted. Like I could do this more to the top to give me room down here. I could go off to the side to give me room. I have options. So I'm thinking blue and then we'll see what happens. Luckily, I found a great piece of scrap blue cardstock. It's actually textured. It has like a linen texture. It's probably basil, I'm guessing. And it matches well with this. With this, I think it'll be great. It's a little too big though, so I am going to cut it down to 3x4. Is it 3 across already? Oh, it is. Good. So all I have to do is cut it to 4, and then it's good to go. I've decided that I like the idea of having it flush to the left-hand side, so I've already put some adhesive on here, and I'm going to attach it like so, and then that gives me room to embellish along the side. There's also empty space here and here and here, so I could overlap some things, run a phrase label here or something. Who knows? I have so many travel things that I'm sure I can fill those spaces without a problem. I dumped out a bunch of the ephemera pieces I had planned to use for Portland in some way or other, and I realized this was in there. I kind of forgot about it, and now I can't really use it because I already have this. It'd be too much to have this as well, and the color doesn't really go, so I'm not gonna be able to use that, but hopefully I can find something else in here, or I have my entire bag of travel phrases here, and I can go into that if I need to. So in my gray phrases, I found this one, and I love it because this was the start of the trip. It was our adventure to start the day, and I think I'm going to put it right here. I don't really need to see my seat and the gate number. It has my flight number. It has the time that we were boarding. It has the date, where I'm leaving, where I'm going, all that stuff. So I think that will work out nicely there. But then I think I want to maybe find another phrase, smaller, in red to bring that out, or perhaps an embellishment. I could do like a star, or I don't think I have a red plane anywhere. Now I do have several stamp sets that have planes in them, so I could stamp in red if I want, but I don't think I want to. I think I'd rather have a phrase or just some kind of other embellishment. You know, I forgot this was going up here. And red kind of clashes with this. Just got like a hot pink on. I may still try it and just see how it looks because I don't know what else I would put there than other than something black. And black feels kind of boring. I mean, I am wearing it and it's here, but I don't know. It feels boring. When I went into my travel stickers, I found two things. I don't know that I can use them both, but I kind of want to try. I have that plane. That's black, so that would certainly work. I also have these mountains, which maybe I could work in on the front, not sure. And then here, though, I like this one that says en route, and it has a little plane on it right there. So I kind of dig that. Now, obviously, it's not the same blue, but I like that it's a little different in tone. And so I think maybe I'm going to see if I can use both, and then I'll have three things to layer here. All right, there's the inside with everything attached. So that's done, yay. And then on the front, also in my travel stickers, I found these geotags, and I wanted a red one to give it a pop right there. And then I remembered, shoot, I want it to say like, oh, it's Mount Hood and Mount St. Helens. So I'm going to have to add a little label on here, I think. Actually, you know what I just realized? I want to move this, if it'll let me pry it up. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, you can see a little goo there from the adhesive. I think I can get that off though. Or maybe I'll end up having to leave it, but I want some kind of a label too that says the names. You know, I could probably do it down there. I'll just put that back for now and I'll get my label. I did my journaling and attached my label, and then I realized I had to pry this up a little bit because I don't want the staple showing through to the other side. I only want it through the top part. There we go. And then I'll just stick it back down. And I think this one is done. So that's what it looks like here. Let's put it in the pocket, test it. Make sure it's gonna fit. It does. All right, so that's what you'll see. And then when you flip up, you get that. And you know what? I'm happy with it. I don't think this photo needs anything. So that's it. Here's another one done for Portland. Thanks for watching.